Good day, everybody. So I'm going to do a smoky eye tutorial using our cream splurge shadows. So I'm going to use Happy, which was our September matte release, and I'm going to use Skeptical, which is the black. And I know that sounds scary, but I promise you it won't be that bad. So when I do a smoky eye, I like to keep the rest of my face a little more muted. So I have a nude lip on. I used the Plush lip liner, the new one, and I put Well-To-Do on top of that. And then I added a little bit of Lovable lip gloss just for a little shine. So you can do whatever you want, but I personally like to have a nude lip. So the first thing we want to do is prime our eyes. So I'm just going to put on a little bit of eye primer. Oh, and another thing that I think is important when you're doing a bold eye look is that you need to have your brows on point. So you really want to make sure that your brows are in the top form in order to really pull off a look like this. Okay, so I'm going to start with Happy, which is the matte. And the Splurge shadows make it really easy to do a smoky eye. And I'm just going to make sure I'm getting really close to that lash line here. And I like this one because it's not quite a black, but it looks so good on everybody. And you can do a smoky eye with pigments instead of with Splurge too. I just think that if you haven't done a smoky eye before, that the Splurge makes it really easy to do it. So with the smoky eye, I like to go just above my brow bone. And I'm using the Happy as kind of a transition color because I am going to be putting that Skeptical black color on top. Okay, so let's do the other eye. We'll speed this up just a little bit. Okay, so don't worry if it looks a little messy. That's okay. So next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take the Skeptical, and you just need a little bit to start. So I would definitely just kind of tap your brush in there, get a little tiny bit on the tip of your brush. You don't need a lot to start. You can always build up the color, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a line here like it's a winged liner. And then I'm going to make a line going into that crease and just slightly above. And then I'm going to take just a little bit more, tapping it again, just on the tip there, just to pull it in just a little bit. So I'm going to smoke this out a little bit more than I normally would. So this is a really pretty evening look. Of course, for me right now it's morning, but I'm doing it for you guys. So I'm just building that color up, and I'm going to blend this out here in a little bit, but for now I just want to get that color built. Again, I'm just pulling that black into the center. And I'm not going to go all the way over because I do want to have a little bit of a transition color going from the gray to the black, but I really want to build up this black on the outer edge to give it that really solid smoky look. Okay, so that one's good for right now. I'm going to do the other eye, so I'm going to speed that up and then I'll go into the next step. Okay, so at this point you're probably thinking, oh my God, Jenny, I don't think I can do that. That looks really scary. I get it. We're gonna make it look better, I promise. Okay, so next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my crease brush and I'm just gonna do a windshield wiper motion back and forth in this crease to really blend that in. So I think my brush had just a tad bit of infatuated left on it from when I did my Halo Eye tutorial. So I'm just gonna, so I got that on this side. So I'm just gonna add a little bit of that dark brown into this eye to make it look more even. Okay. So I know you're thinking, this looks frightening. We're gonna blend it out even more. So just hang on a second. I promise it's not gonna be this scary. Okay, so next I'm gonna take my favorite tapered blending brush from Sigma and I'm just gonna make a circular motion and do that windshield wiper back and forth. You can already see how this is blending in and lightening up, right? Okay, so we're gonna keep doing this for just a minute until we get it all blended and perfect the way we want. Okay, so you can see already that this blending really toned down that darkness up at the top. So I want to add in a little bit of highlight under my brow bone, and I'm going to use my sculpting trio and the highlight part, and I'm just using my ring finger and I'm gently rubbing that into the brow bone to get a little bit of highlight there. Something weird on my eyebrow. Okay, so I'm going to use my pinky because that has not touched any color, and I'm going to get the inner ducts of my eye with the highlight. Okay, and then we are going to clean up around our eyes. So I'm just taking a little tiny bit of my concealer in my foundation color, which is Taffeta, and I'm just going to lightly blend this so I get a nice crisp line here. I'm going to do it on the other side too. Okay, last step for the shadow. We're going to take our cream shadow brush, the one that I actually use with the product, and I already have product on it, so I'm not adding any more, and I'm just going to go under my eye and kind of smoke it out under there too. So I'm just kind of rubbing it in a little more to kind of bring the color down a little bit. You see how it gives it that nice smoke look? Okay, so the smoky eye part is done. I like to put a little winged liner on top of my smoky eye, so I'm going to do that in the next video, so stay tuned.